Okay. So maybe welcoming yourself as well for being here this morning, this afternoon, this night, whatever that is for you. And allowing the eyes to close if that's okay with you. And if not, we can just keep them open. That's all right. Maybe finding a focal point or lowering the gaze to the floor or the ground so that you don't get distracted. And we're going to start out by just taking in a deep breath through the nose. Deep inhale and holding it on top. And long, long exhale, longer than usual. Let's do that again. Deep inhale, holding it on top. And long exhale, letting it all out. And one more time. Deep inhale, holding it. And long, long exhale. Whenever it feels right to you, just come back to breathing normally, allowing the body to breathe at its own pace, in its own way right now. And noticing what might be present for you right now. What has come to you to this moment? Is there something from the moment before? Is there something from many moments before that happens sometimes? So whatever it is, just acknowledging it. Seeing how these thoughts or emotions or even maybe physical sensations, maybe tightness or tension from the moment before, are affecting this new moment or contributing to this new moment in any way. Can we be patient with whatever is here right now? And so whenever you're ready, if all of this still wants to linger around a little longer, that's all right. But seeing if the best you can score your full attention to this body. Sitting here patiently for you to pay attention to. Noticing the pose of the body, maybe sitting or lying down. Feeling through your feet, if they're in contact with the ground or the chair. And noticing what's present in the body right now. What's present in the legs or the chest, the shoulders, the neck, the head. Are there any sensations of maybe tightness or tension anywhere or anything else, maybe tingling, numbness? Whatever it is, just becoming familiar with that and really bringing kind curiosity to whatever is here with the body. Allowing it to really safely, fully supported by the earth to just drop, sink in to the tear of the surface. If you're noticing that there might be a little bit of restfulness, you can find yourself a little restless, maybe just really being curious about that. What are the thoughts behind that? What's in the body? What's felt in the heart? It might be helpful to take in a deep breath, maybe a couple. Settling in this new moment. Allowing the breath to just flow naturally and normally. Feeling this body breathe. Can your attention stay here? Focus in this moment, focusing on your breathing or the sensations in the body, maybe your hands or feet. And it's normal for the mind to wander. It's okay. You're doing everything perfectly. Even if the mind is telling stories, even if it's wandering, even if it's caught in a loop of thoughts and storms, it's all okay. Just noticing that. And every time you escort your attention right back to the body, the breath, this moment, it is already a mindful moment. And we do that as many times as it takes. Patiently. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. Just be here in this moment. And every time you notice yourself getting distracted, just knowing that underneath all these waves of thought, all the storms felt in the heart, there's stillness. It's just like the waves in the ocean. They might come really hard, crashing against the shore, but underneath it all, there's always stillness. Recognizing that as our true essence. Everything else is just the weather outside. It's just a storm. It'll all pass. Patiently seeing it through. Perhaps one of the best ways to cultivate patience is to notice when there's impatience. And then being curious about that impatience. Can you invite yourself to cultivate patience right now in the long gaps? Could you just be with things the way they are, allowing, allowing for even the impatience of the moment? So a poem called The Patience of Ordinary Things says, it is a kind of love, is it not? How can the cup hold the tea? How the chair stands sturdy and four square? How the floor receives the bottom of her shoes and toes? How soles of feet know where they're supposed to be? I've been thinking about the patience of ordinary things. How clothes wait respectfully in the closet, and soap dries quietly in the dish, and towels drink the wet from the skin of the back, and the lovely repetition of stairs. And what is more generous than a window? the patience of ordinary things. And so as you sit here contemplating your own patience, there's often the case of us being impatient towards ourselves, wanting things to be different than what they are. Wanting to get to the next moment. So much to do. The notion of time being limited in this timeless universe. How about being patient with one another? The understanding of our own path in this world, in this life. How every one of us is in a different path. And the question might be, what do we do with all this impatience? How to cultivate patience? So through mindfulness, we're learning to be aware of it, be aware of all those many moments when we're impatient. And just by noticing our impatience, we're already cultivating patience, just like that. And the more we become aware of our impatience, the more patient we become. So this is our practice for today and for this week. Maybe the question will be, how does impatience get on the way of life for you? Often we try to control things because we're too impatient. So just noticing these things, bringing your attention to every moment. It's an opportunity for growth, for learning. And I got to tell you that a lot of people sometimes say that I'm patient. But just lately, I noticed that I had to work on my patience quite a bit. And I took it on to myself this year to work on patience. And it started with the plants behind me. So the plants that I have here, they sprouted from one leaf. They were just leaves. And I wanted to see how patient I really was. I found I was quiet and patient. I put the little leaves in water to grow roots. And I kept checking them every day, every minute. Are they roots yet? Are they roots yet? And I realized how impatient I was, how I wasn't practicing patience. And so they taught me to be patient. And then when I least thought about it, they sprouted and they grew all these roots. And it was so amazing to see that, and so interesting to see how when I kind of stopped trying to control and just decided to be patient with them, they just sprouted. And so that was a good learning experience for me. And I think nature teaches us about patience. It's like when it's a rainy day, right? We can get impatient and hope that the rain goes away. But we know we can't make it go away. We know it's not going to happen like that. So we have to be patient and just wait for the sun to come out, for the rain to stop. And so these are some ways that we can cultivate patience. Just noticing in daily life, when are you impatient? Are you impatient in this moment, wanting to go to the next moment? Just noticing that. So we're going to transition into breakout rooms in just a moment. But I wanted to thank you for your patience today, for sitting here through the silence. Because as we practice more and more, the gaps of talking are kind of going to slow down because we're learning about all these different things that get triggered during the meditations. And that's the power of it, right? We get to see ourselves under different light. We are the center of attention when we're meditating. It's all about us. I mean, we love that as humans. What can go wrong, right? And so really just noticing. And as we transition into breakout rooms, I think the idea will be to really notice if there is impatience in you at any moment, when somebody's speaking, when somebody's sharing. What is that triggering for you? And can you be patient with yourself? Can you maybe pause before you say something and notice what's the intention behind what you are saying to each other? Is our intention aligned with all of us wanting a more peaceful world, a better world? And maybe as simple as that, what's our intention behind everything? Are we aligned with that? Obviously, if we're here, we are practicing not just for us, but for everybody. So as we interact with one another, maybe just paying attention to that. So I'm going to go ahead and